Okay, after hitting the Design tab, we're going to be prompted to ask, hey, do you want to pull in that Geller model that we worked on before and use the data from that? Or just let's reload the STL files. Normally, I would load up the Geller model because I already did the work. But for the sake of these videos, let's start from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Load Scan Data Only. It's now prompting me for the lower jaw scan, and I'm going to go ahead and find where I put that, and here. And so loading the lower jaw, and then it's going to ask me for the antagonist, which is the upper jaw. All right, so there's a lot of sort of screens that don't really seem to make a lot of sense. This one is just asking you which end is up. So I'm looking at a gray model here, and then if I turn it over, it's red. It just wants to make sure that we don't have this model flipped upside down, whether we've scanned it in a lab scanner, maybe we put it in the lab scanner wrong, or for whatever reason. So we just click Set Current View as Axis and hit Next. The next is going to ask us to mark our margins. Now we did that before, but let's just go ahead and go through this exercise again. There's two different ways we can detect or we can correct and draw. So I'm going to start by working on number 18, and I'm going to come real close up, and you can see here this cross section tells me where it is. I'm just going to go ahead and add a point here and add another point here, come around here, add a point here, and just like the Geller model, we had a few issues on different points that we may have to correct manually. And so here we kind of got the margin done. I can now go to Correct Draw and really zoom in and move these dots. If my margin's not going where I want it to, I can add a dot if I wanted to. If I wanted to take one away, I could do that as well. But now I'll move over here, and maybe this could be placed out a little bit more, and we can use this sort of cross-sectional view to find some tough margins. Next, we're going to come over here to number 20, and we can do the same thing. This one worked out pretty well. And we'll do the same now for number 30. And that looks pretty good. Looks like we might have a little area to correct here. And we can just move that. We can add a point here and move that out. Okay, now it's going to do something called the crown bottoms. And if we take away the antagonist so we can see a little bit better, what the crown bottoms are the spacer and also how ExoCAD determines what is sacred. So we know in CIREC that CIREC will build spacer up to a point where the margin has no spacer. And so there's different settings that you can figure out. I got to be honest with you, I don't really play with a lot of these. You can determine how much of an undercut it'll tolerate as well. You know, I just go ahead and leave those things alone. And certainly there's better videos on the different parameters on ExoCAD.